webinars on how to adapt to your customers' changing needs. So just to give you a brief overview, I know most of you know us already, but we're ThinkSMART Marketing. As myself, Mike Hall and Gary King are the three people within ThinkSMART Marketing, and we are marketing consultants focused on understanding who your customer is, your key messages, your value proposition, and supporting business owners to build marketing plans, marketing strategies, content plans, and get really all the foundation of their marketing in place so that it starts working for them and delivers the return that they need. And over the course of COVID, over the last few months, we've been really active on webinars, just trying to support business owners with our experience, with our knowledge. We've been out there, we've been asking business squads, we've been asking on LinkedIn, what are the key challenges that you're facing? And we've tried to develop then the webinars that will answer those challenges for you. So this one around your changing customer needs, with the current situation, obviously with COVID-19, a lot of us have seen the needs of our customers changing, and it's really important to be out there and asking how your customers' needs have changed and how you can adapt to those and how you can keep, you know, I know we've all heard of the phrase pivot not pause. I don't think we ever heard of that before we went into COVID, or not very often anyway, but we've all done as business owners quite a bit of pivoting, so we're not pausing our businesses. We've had to adapt, we've had to look at online solutions like we were just talking about there. We need to deliver events in a different way. Virtually, we need to be thinking on our feet and thinking of ways that we can change our business models to adapt to the changes of our customers. And this is what this webinar is about, really. It's going to get you thinking about how you should be changing your business model, ways in which you can, and how you're going to deliver those results. So a lot of you may have seen, and this is some of the feedback that we've had when we've gone into Business Squad and onto LinkedIn, is that people are seeing reduced revenue and reduced number of new leads coming into the business, particularly over the last couple of months. With other business owners, obviously, it has a compounding effect, because we're all feeling that way. Then we're all not looking to grow our businesses, or we're all not looking for new services, new products, or we're not looking to spend any of our cash in our business, because we're all experiencing those issues, and therefore it compounds each other, and therefore it kind of just everything pauses, which we don't want to happen. Needs of the customer have changed, which I've just talked about. You know, we have to think about different ways of delivering what we do already, and think of new products and services that we can start developing for our customer. And our traditional ways of delivery have changed. We've seen a lot of our delivery having to move online. I don't know if some of you already know Sally Roberts. She has a sales training business, and we were talking at the very start of COVID together. And, you know, when COVID started and no one-to-one delivery was allowed, that was basically her business stopped. And she was kind of like, well, I could be in this position and just cry and not move forward, or I need to really think on my feet. So she's come up with a new business model of delivering her training virtually, and we're looking at an online solution as well. So she has really successfully changed the way she delivers her services and listened to what her customers are needing right now. And it's a great example of what we all need to be doing, really. We need to change. Our business needs to change and adapt to move forward. So in this webinar, I've mentioned, we'll give you an understanding of business models and how to build one. We'll give you the tools that you need to reach out and speak to your customers and find out how their needs have changed. And we'll also give you guidance on a proven process to develop a marketing plan that will deliver the results and will enable you to develop and launch those products and set new products and services that you need within your business model. So Mike, my trusty partner,
oh yes,
handing over to you now.
Handing over to me. So we really like to try and keep things simple, and we're going to share with you the model that we had before all this started, and then what we've done afterwards, just to give you an idea. But what we try to think about is that everything that actually sits into the business model it's there for a reason and has to be there, not just because we think it's a good idea. And as Claire said, we're always chatting to our clients, customers, and whatever it is to find out what they want. So this is about coming up with, the products or services that will really help you, as far as when you identify your target customer, as to exactly the products and services that are really going to work for you. And just touching on a previous webinar that we've done, the bit about understanding your target customer without stating the obvious is really important. So, having that clear vision in mind of who your target customer is, then that'll help you identify the service and products that you need. So if you just flick on the next slide, Claire.
Just to say, if you've got any questions as we go through, please just put them in the chat, and I'm monitoring the group chat as well.
So all of the things that we've put into the model, which we'll share in the next couple of slides, are what are the problems that we've been solving for. So asking the audience effectively, what's challenging them, what's stopping them, and where it can often help is being that, from our perspective, what we've seen is actually being that objective person. So we know that business owners get so Peter's put a note in here. Will you send a slide? Yes, no problem. You'll get a full recording of this. All being well, will go out to you tomorrow as well. So we're seeing that actually business owners get very, very close to what it is they're doing. They've always done it in a certain way, and sometimes they need that objective view to then, bounce these ideas around, so they don't get kind of stuck on what it is they're doing. And by offering these different products and services, we're looking then to how they can add value to their customers, and keep on adding value to them to keep them competitive as well. And also, as well as keeping you competitive, what are you giving to them to help them in their business? So it'd be an interesting question to find out who's actually, if anyone at the minute has changed their business model currently based on what's been happening in the world at the moment.
You can just put into the chat before we move on to the next slide if you have updated, changed, tweaked slightly your business model.
And all these things that we'll talk about in the next couple of slides all need doing in accordance with a plan. So whatever it is, whatever new product or service it is that you can go and offering, needs to be built with a plan in mind. But I've changed mine to virtual. Well, that's great. And I think a lot of them, Peter, as we kind of alluded to before, there's a lot of people turning that, they're offering to virtual or looking at services that they can offer remotely. Claire mentioned just before about Sally Roberts. We've also got another client, a video company called Seven. And naturally, when all the filming stopped, when all the COVID came along, then they could no longer go out and video themselves, do videos for clients. So we work with them to offer a package where they can go to their customers to help them repurpose content. So that's actually proved really successful for them. It opened them up a new revenue stream, another opportunity.
Which they're going to keep and continue with, aren't they? It's proven really successful. So and little things can make their videos go a long way. Simon, yes, but miss social interaction with clients. 100% agree with you on that one, Simon. I do as well. We were talking yesterday. I mean, we do a lot of things where we go out to, we don't have offices, we all work virtually, but missing things like Santander Cafe where we can go and have a bit of a natter and a bit of banter. Yeah.
And also, as you say, sometimes you can find more just by working clients face to face.
Scott, you've said annual client reviews through video conferencing at the moment. Yeah, we've also got a client who's an accountancy firm, and they never really used Zoom with their clients before, pre-COVID, but they've said it's revolutionized what they're doing now. They're not going to spend so much time going out to visit clients. That will be a part of their offering. Their meetings they will do it over Zoom. Obviously there'll be some meetings that they can't, they will still want to do face-to-face, but they're definitely going to change the way their relationship continues with their clients and do more on Zoom than face-to-face. Sonia, I provide a serviced office, and a lot have found they can work from home, but they do want to come back. More virtual clients wanting a virtual office too. Yeah, definitely. We do still want that eventually. We do still want to all come back together, don't we? Because like Mike says, nothing better than bouncing ideas off each other when you are together rather than just virtually.
flick on, Claire, and pop
Yeah, yeah.
into our model we've already
Yes,
asked that
yeah.
on. So this is our funnel business model, call it as you will, prior to what happened. So those of you who know us know that we've got a thing called Business Squad, and the idea is we want to be able to help service as many people as possible. So all these products that you see in here, all at the time served a purpose. So we've got the stuff at the Business Squad where we can put the freebies at the top, and then we've got boot camps, online course that we've developed, right through to working with us on a one-to-one basis. And there's some things in there that clearly, when COVID kicked in, there was a problem. So the Squaddies Mess, for example, the workshops, we couldn't do those anymore.
Mm.
And also we were mindful of kind of price points of things we were doing for customers. So whilst we thought these were still okay, it was this at the point when we went out to the client and sort of said, look, what else can we be doing, or find out where they're struggling? And that then enabled us to start to think about, well, how can we change what we're doing in our model and still keep, you know, the stuff at the top end of the funnel where we've got the freebies, down to how we implement things at the bottom. And so in the middle areas, once we started chatting to people, we were finding that there was a real struggle when it came to actually not wanting to commit a lot of things, but they still need the help and advice of what we can do. And also we know that one of the challenges was, how can I build a marketing plan? Because again, all these things that we talk about all need to fit into a plan. So we've actually decided then we're no longer going to do the boot camps. We're going to take those online. We have already developed an online course. And then on top of that, because what clients have been asking for, we've developed a marketing plan course, which we developed in a couple of weeks' time. That took us 2 weeks to develop, but it sits at quite a nice price point for people. And
the discovery call as well was a new product.
Just going to talk about a discovery call, because we're again chatting to businesses during this time. There's been the funny thing of, do I market, do I not market? I don't want to commit to lots of money, or I'm not sure what I want to sign up for. So by actually, you know, coming up with the ability to put a quick call in for a small fee, they can then work out then the next steps, and we can sort of downsell, upsell, whatever we need to do. And actually, since we've done this model, it's changed again. So we put some more freebies in at the top of the wheel, again, to help people. So we've got a diagnostic quiz, which Claire will touch on a little bit later on. But all the products that we've put in are there for a reason. So are there things within your business model, business structure, that you can sort of flip, turn online, or monetize to make it fit somewhere within your funnel? And it's been a really interesting exercise for us. And we've had this kind of sanity checked as well by our own business mentor that we have. So we have someone to keep us accountable for our marketing. We kind of have to practice what we preach. And it's been a real interesting, and actually been really successful. But as everything must solve a problem, there's no point in us doing it because we think it's right. And this is where it's good to have the advice, someone to sound check against, to see if actually, you know, going back to with 7 again, they hadn't thought about doing this new package to allow them to go and market the service to help people edit videos. They just hadn't thought about it. Again, they were so close to what they do. And just by sounding out and chatting to people, then sometimes the penny kind of drops. And what it also helps you to do as well, by having a set structures and set products and services, you can actually then go ahead and reverse engineer your income. So how many of product X do I need? How many of product Y do I need? That will then help you to understand how that can work for you, structure it, and allow you then to predict what you need to do as far as getting your pipeline up there, and what tools and things you need to help you get your pipeline up and running.
Okay.
You're going to jump on here then, Claire, about this bit?
Yeah, so we talked about, how have your customers' needs changed? So how can you go out there and find out? So one way are surveys. Obviously, you probably know all about Survey Monkeys. So setting up just a really short one, thinking about what their pain points are at the moment, asking them those key questions and sharing that out to your database, but also share it out on your social media, onto LinkedIn. So share it out to your network, because even if they're not an existing customer, they might be a target customer or a prospect, or you know, your network might be having like-minded experiences as well. So surveys are really good and easy and simple tools to set up. Quiz or diagnostic. So Mike touched on this. We've actually built a diagnostic wheel, as we call it. Basically, Mike, you know better than I do. Is it an app or is it a?
Yeah, we've built this as a bolt onto the website, and what it actually does, it kind of helps you to funnel people in the right direction. So, for example, we're talking to one of our clients at the moment. We're doing a touch point program with, and this particular client they do a lot of eco cleaning. So they manufacture eco cleaning materials, and this might sound a bit disgusting, but I'll tell you anyway. What they offer is they work a lot with care homes, and they offer a service called an odor doctor, which effectively, for want of a better term, is they can go in and they can, by sniffing around the building, I know it sounds really crude, but they can pick up exactly what the issue is and recommend the right.
Experts in that area.
They're absolutely experts, and they can recommend the right treatment for the products. So the right product, so it might be for one type of spillage, they use this type of chemical. For another type of spillage, they'll use another one. Now, clearly, they can't go in now and perform that test. But what they do know that I'm very good at is understanding the right questions to ask. So by taking a diagnostic wheel and putting the right questions in place, you're almost steering the client down the route you want them to go to give them the best opportunity. So by having a set of, and it's all A, B, C, D, or you can rate your things out of 1 to 10.
It's interactive, so
it's an online diagnostic that they ask the right questions.
Experience,
and they will push you then in the right direction. So it almost takes out, well, it will be taking out the need for them to go there. So we can use a similar one for marketing. We can help determine, by asking the right questions, what stage they are in their business, which might determine then, do they need our help on a turning point program, or do they need a touch point program, or actually they're doing really well and maybe a call will do, or actually they're so early on in their business we can't support them, but we'll push them into business squad. So they then feed into the different elements in the structure that we built on the funnel. So it's a very clever bit of software. It's run by a third party that we know. It's not expensive. There's a small monthly charge, but a very, very clever way. And the actual output is a spider wheel as well. So they can see at a glance where they are, recommending next steps. So
where their gaps are, where they're strong and where they're weak. So it gives them
it's a really clever tool.
Yeah. And so that's the clever way of doing a diagnostic. But then equally, there's things like polls. You can do polls into Facebook, into social media, and ask just some simple questions that you can get some really quick results from. So just any way that you can go out there and ask those key questions. And obviously the last way of doing it is the good old traditional, just pick up the phone and have the conversation. Again, just thinking of the client that we've worked with, Seven, when we were at the start and we did develop these new products for them so that they could continue to generate revenue during the COVID period. They got the most benefit from just picking up the phone to their clients and asking the questions, telling them about these packages that they were developing, asking for their feedback, their input. And then those phone calls led to, oh, well, I didn't know you did that. Oh, well, if you can do that, could you look at this for me? Or could you look at that for me? So those phone calls were really, really beneficial. I mean, you can't really, talking to someone is always the best form of communication. I know we're always very busy in our lives, but just picking up the phone and speaking. Simon, I use a business pressure test that I devised for my business in conjunction with a business psychologist. This diagnoses similar stuff, looking at 7 areas: operation, sales, marketing, finances, people, high level strategy, and individual feeling. So that sounds very similar to what we've developed in our diagnostic tool.
I think until people ask the right kind of questions, they don't know where they're struggling. But we as experts, I guess, have to ask the questions that we know will steer them in the direction to give them the best result.
And sorry, I have to keep moving my chat boxes around to see the slides. And then obviously you need then a plan to pull all of that together, because if you need to develop new products or services, you need to have a marketing plan that runs alongside that to launch it. And often you find that we're so busy developing the new product or service and so excited about it as well, we're busy developing that, we forget about the marketing side of it. So how are you going to take that to market? Who are going to be your key influencers that you want to use to help you amplify the message? What marketing collateral do you need to go with it? What's the time frame to launch? How quickly do you want to get that product and service out there? Are you going to tell your existing customers first before you prospect? So many questions and thoughts that need to go into that marketing plan. You've got to be thinking and running those two things in parallel, so that when you have your product and your service nailed and developed, you are ready with your marketing to go out there and launch it. That's really, really important. And it's often something that people overlook because they get too involved in the product or service. And so what happens when we don't have the plan? We'll fall into just the selling mentality, because we'll have got to the end of developing the product and we'll be like, oh no, we just sell. So you're switching off your customers, your existing customers, and also your potential new customers. You may be inconsistent with your brand and messaging because you've rushed something, you're not portraying your brand correctly, and you haven't really thought hard enough about the pain points of your customer, of why they're going to want to buy into this new product or service that you've developed. And therefore your messaging won't be strong enough. It won't be articulating the value that you're going to bring. You'll have no time to launch the new product, which I've said. And then that leads to panic or overwhelm or just procrastination and not doing anything. You sometimes put all your eggs in one basket, so you might not have given the time to think about exactly who your target customers are, and you might only be focusing on one customer sector and not all the possibilities or the opportunities that are out there. So you're putting all your focus in one area, and then when they do buy into it, you haven't thought about then what happens, or what's the next step, what's the journey after that. So they buy the product and it's like, bye, thank you, and that's it. Nothing else happens. There's no continuation, there's no loyalty being built, there's no continuing engagement or continuing value that you're going to add.
I think while we're doing that, there's a great point that Simon's put on the chat. Often the challenges they think they have aren't actually correct. I think that's a really good point, because it goes back, doesn't it? Everyone's so close that they're not aware, or they think about what they think's the problem, but actually it needs somebody else to say, hang on a minute, have you thought about that? Or really, is that the right thing to do? It's a bit like when I've done some decorating and I go to my wife, do you think this is brilliant? I said, how's it all looking? And she goes, you missed a bit. And I think it can be a bit like that, can't it? You need someone then just to challenge you a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. And so that you need the time built into what you're doing to give yourself that time to check and bounce some ideas off people. So how can you reach them with the content? So this is all about then thinking about your marketing plan, and we have our 6 superheroes, which are awareness, interest, evaluation, trial, adoption, and loyalty. So you need to give yourself the time when you're going to go out there with your new products and services to think about all the activity that you should be doing in these 6 key areas. So like I said, to build that awareness up, to get those testimonials. So could you offer your product or your service out there for free in return for some testimonials, or the feedback in the initial stages? And then what happens when someone buys into that product? And then again, what I was saying about loyalty, don't just sell the product and say goodbye. There needs to be a continuum. You need to keep adding value and build that relationship. So thinking about your superheroes for your marketing plan is really, really important. And then you need to know what you're measuring. Again, you need to know whether your product or service that you're launching out there is successful. You need to put some, revenue expectations against it. You need to know what you want to deliver in the first month, second month. You need to also be measuring the marketing activity. So looking on your Google Analytics and seeing what's happening with your website. Looking on your social media, if you're using social media as a key tool, is that driving people to your website to find out about your new product or service? You can follow that journey through Google Analytics. Looking again at your social media analytics and seeing what that's telling you. Looking at things like if you're using lead pages to get people to sign up and register, how's your lead page performing? Have you got the right message on there? Is that message converting? it's all about those conversions. Then your emails, obviously, open rates, conversion rates, link clicks, following that whole journey that you've mapped out in your marketing plan, and making sure that at each step you've got the right measure to know that you're passing that person through those stages to become your customer, and then to continue to be a loyal customer. So measuring, having those right measures in place is really, really important. And Mike.
Yeah, so the reason you guys are obviously coming here is to look at how we can obviously give a better service to our clients and then increase the revenue. But it is about asking the clients as to what they want. You know, we wouldn't have developed what we're doing now without asking the clients, and certainly asking customers and within Business Squad. So I think there's a great thing about, you know, picking the phone up, whatever it might be, surveys, diagnostics, to actually find out that these things are people wanted. And even if these are smaller price pointed products, or just whatever, you know, a smaller element of a product, then it's still another service that you can offer. And what we've found is that through what's happening in COVID, the course we've developed is actually giving us another opportunity, another route to market, which has been great for us. But it also means that you still need a plan. So whatever it is you're doing, whether it's the £99 course or the marketing plan course, you still need something to be able to have a plan there to do it. And this is where people fall over. I was chatting to an ex-client of mine from O2. She's got her own yoga business. Things have changed with her. She's now going on to doing things virtually. But actually, even though she's got some experience of this, she doesn't know where to start. And she said to me, Mike, it's just really overwhelming what to do. I know what to do, but I don't know how to do it. Can you help us? So this is the reason we created the marketing plan, which converts into the sales, which is one of our lead, our new part of our new business plan.
Put your teeth
business
back in.
model. Put my teeth back in, yeah. So we've created the marketing plan that converts into sales. So we've taken all of our knowledge that we've done over the past 30 odd years of experience and built a 4-week course that you can it will tell you how to do it in a logical process. So there's videos on there, there's templates on there, but it's all there to add value to you, to help you go through and build a marketing plan. And listening to speaking to our clients and doing the surveys and things, looking at how people wanted it. They wanted information in bite-sized chunks. So that's exactly what we've done. We've created something that is actually week by week over 4 weeks will help you build your own marketing plan. And it's given us, you know, traditionally for us to go and do a marketing plan is quite an expensive piece of work. So we've done it in a way a bit different to other online courses that are available. So actually there is some element of accountability, which is a big thing for us. So actually, if you sign up for this, you get, well, this is what people do when they sign up with it. They get an hour with Claire every week, to set time to keep you accountable. Because it's so easy to get a course, do it, and actually have no benefit for it, or it sits there in the top drawer. So that's what we've done that. And on top of that, then we allow you to then we'll actually review your plan for you. And there should have been a link in there. That's our fault. I've not saved the document, but we've got a link to it. But it's there to give. We're using all the templates and things that we've developed over the past few years. So marketing plan templates. There's how to building your persona templates. But at the end of the 4 weeks, it's there to give you help you understand what your clients need and what their priorities are going to be.
Yeah. So whether it's that you need to generate new leads, whether you need to change your business model and develop a new product or service, or whether you need to re-engage with your existing customers and your existing network and create your loyalty. So focusing on that latter end of the superheroes and the marketing plan, it gives you structure to do either of those, any of those three, or all three of those, to develop that plan that will enable you to move forward. Then, if you have any questions on anything that we've covered, do you want to pop them into the chat and we can answer any questions now? Otherwise, we will send you tomorrow. You get an email with the recording of the webinar.
Stop using free. Sorry, Peter. Yeah, you're right. I should be using the word complimentary.
Sorry.
No, it's a fair point, Peter. Is that something you found?
Yeah, I did a blog about 3 years ago where it stopped using the F word, use the C word instead.
Oh, right. Nice.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
And it's been very, I always do that because I think when you're offering something for free, it undervalues the service that you're giving, but complimentary is more of a gift to people and it maintains your value.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, that's great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, we'll bear that in mind. We'll change this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no.
But other than that, it was very interesting, and I'd be very interested in doing your course as well.
Oh, lovely, wonderful.
Oh,
good.
Well, what we'll do is, Peter, is when you get the recording through, there will be a link in there.
Okay.
That will take you through, so you'll get an email that comes out to you tomorrow.
Okay.
With the recording on this, and I was discussing free and complimentary.
Okay.
That will arrive in your inbox.
Well, if you'd like me on the course on a complimentary basis, I'd like you.
We'd love to do that, but unfortunately, we have to put food on the table.
Oh, I can hear the violins going now.
Oh yes. It's all my 14 children I've got in the back. Keep going, kids. Stay there. We'll send it through on the link. And
you will get as I say, tomorrow you'll get an email through which just summarises the key takeaways from the webinar, has the recording on there, and also has the link to find out more information about the course. Perrin, thank you. Really informative. Thank you so much.
I'm not sure about the well presented. I'm not sure about the well presented bit. I think I had someone else's teeth in today. I really did.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Simon. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Guys.
Have a great rest of your day. Okay, take care.